Ghostpaw.
In rural southern Illinois, a toy company began selling realistic baby dolls to expectant mothers. But apparently, after the mother had had their child, the toy baby would start crying. Eventually, the rockin' motion advertised to calm it down wouldn't work, and you couldn't get it to stop without shaking it. Eventually, when it started crying, the parent would have to beat it. And even then, the beatings and thrashings would have to get harder and harder to get it to be quiet. The only thing that seemed to shut the baby doll up permanently was to bash its head against the wall, to destroy whatever mechanism triggered the crying. On more than one occasion, though, neighbors called the authorities to report child abuse, and when the police arrived, they found the bloody remains of infants smeared across the walls and the floors. In most cases, the mother couldn't understand why the police were there. She said that she had just got rid of that stupid doll. She calmly stated as she rocked a baby-shaped bundle in her arm. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. And some mornings, Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands, we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the house's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back of the wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied, watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch the chair forward across the room, toward us. Sometimes she'd manage to move it all the way to the center of the room, and we always felt so sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we'd moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She'd murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she'd hanged herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room, with a woman's body hanging from a beam, and beneath her, knocked over, was that old wooden chair, placed exactly in the center of the room. Many cultures have their own version of the boogeyman, a monster that lurks in the darkness, waiting to take children away to their shadowy domain. The weird thing is that sometimes kids see it before they even hear the stories about them. They feel the presence of something in their room, sometimes just outside their door, or at the far end of a dark alley. It is quite probable that this monster actually evolved as a survival technique, dating back to times when humans were tribal-dwelling folk. If a small child wandered away from the camp, especially at night, chances are it would never be seen again. This fear may have developed simply to make sure we stayed in the safety of our own villages. But suppose for a moment that there is some validity to the idea of this supernatural being. Isn't it entirely possible it is not at all evil or malicious? Many people believe in a guardian angel. So how do we know there aren't simply our guardian angels keeping an eye on us? The idea that an angel would use fear to keep us safe may sound strange, but the most efficient rulers tend to employ Machiavellian philosophy. It is better to rule with fear than love, but it is better to rule with love than hate. And while we're on the subject of the monster being real, have you ever heard of thought form? Thought form is a manifestation of mental energy. If enough people are pouring energy into the idea of a boogeyman, after a while, it'll show up. So, when you lie awake at night, unable to sleep, what do you think about? Do you think about all the stressful things you have to do the next day? Perhaps it's anticipation of some kind of event coming up soon. Or Is it because of the sensation that you're being watched in the dark? The feeling you get from unseen eyes as they silently observe you tossing and turning in bed? The thought of knowing that even though you are safe in your own room, there is a creature lying in wait just beyond the foot of your bed. Sleep tight. Hey you, Ghostpaw here, and I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much for watching today's video. I'd also like to give a big thank you to everyone who wished me a happy birthday. It meant a great deal to me, and I truly did enjoy my birthday. I also want to give a big thank you to everybody who has stayed with me since I started my channel, and those of you who have continued to join. It means a great deal to me seeing the amount of subscribers that I've had and the amount of views that my videos get. And as always, if you like tonight's story, be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment, share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe so you can catch more of my spooky tales. And remember, Ghostpaw is always hunting, and I might just be hunting you.